And I'm very pleased to welcome to the program from USA Shooting, Ryan Hadden. Ryan, thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program tonight. Great talking to you.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. And congratulations, by the way, on your performance last week at the World Cup in Tucson, winning the gold medal. That's pretty impressive, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about yourself, Ryan. You are a member of, in addition to being a part of USA Shooting, you're a member of the U.S. Army's marksmanship unit, right?
That is correct.
All right. How long have you been a member of the how long have you been a member of the team?
I've actually been a member of the team about 14 and a half years. October, I hit 15 years.
Really? Now, that am I wrong in thinking that is a long period of time to be with the unit?
It is. We've had a couple people who have actually spent their full 20 years there. It's one of those things where you are allowed to stay there and be in the marksmanship unit as long as you are productive at the world level and continue to win medals. There's definitely been a lot of people come and go. So to have the opportunity to be there for that length of time is quite an honor.
Well, absolutely. And again, I think it speaks to the level of your excellence. Now, unfortunately, we were just talking about the 2012 Olympics. The United States did not earn a quota spot for men's trap to compete in the Olympic Games this year, and that's your event, isn't it?
Correct. It is. Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. I try not to get in too much into the politics side of it and everything, but I know last year Lance Bate and myself were number 1 and 2 on the world championship team. However, they decided to send a not so, I guess you could say, experienced team down to the CAT Games and Pan American Games, which is between North and South America, and they were unable to win the quota spot, which is unfortunate. I had a little bit of a dry run last year. I had early in the year, I had a couple bulging discs in my neck, and wasn't 100%. And later on in the year, I got a little bit better. I think I finished tied for 10th at the World Championship. So it was coming around, but that's just one of those things that's unfortunate. It's probably been at least 30, 40 years since we've never sent a full team there. So
yeah,
it's a little heartbreaking because you spend so many years and so much time in everything that trying to make it to the Olympics and win that Olympic medal and stuff. And when you're kind of on top of your game right now and looking forward to that, and it's not feasible. So, but it is what it is, and we just drive on to 2016. So,
absolutely. Are you already thinking ahead of 2016 then?
Yeah, one of the things that I try and do is I just try and take it, one match at a time. They say you're only as good as your last match, which is very true. So I know I'll leave here in a few weeks to go to London to shoot a World Cup, and then we'll come back and we'll still actually shoot the selection for the Olympic team and everything. So looking forward to that, and I'll actually deploy. I'll train up in September and deploy in October. So, being part of the marksmanship unit, there's shooting isn't just what we do. We support a sessions command with the recruiting and do a lot of demos and center of influence events. We do a lot of the trainers, supporting the war fighters and teaching indigenous soldiers so that, they're able to stand on their own 2 feet. We also do a lot with our customs firearms shop. Actually does a lot of the research for the Army and a lot of the development and things like that. So shooting is just kind of what we do to be able to have the credibility to do those things. So we're busy 24/7, and it seems like with a company-sized unit, running as a battalion and everything. We have so many people going so many different places all over the world and everything. But it's fun. It's busy. You get to travel around and see new things and meet new people, and it's a great thing. Supporting the efforts and the war fighters and everything.
Well, absolutely. I mean, not only are you an ambassador for the Second Amendment, but you're clearly an ambassador for the United States and the Army Marksmanship Unit as well. I'm curious, Ryan, how did you get started shooting?
Well, it's kind of funny. I was 10 years old, and at the time we were into horses. My sister's about 7 or 8 years older than I am, so I didn't know that my father actually used to shoot a little bit competitively, not in the international game, but I was 10 years old and I drove past a trap range and I asked him what it was, and he said when I turned 11 he'd take me out there. Maybe one day I could get good enough and shoot for USA Shooting or the Army and make an Olympic team and win Olympic medals. So he took me out there and I fell in love with it. And in a way, he had a regular grocery store at the time that had a little bit of sporting goods in it, and we basically transformed that into a full-time sporting goods business, which is Garner Sporting Goods out of Pendleton, Oregon, to help pay and facilitate the means to be able to, drive down the road and compete. So,
wow, that's fantastic. Hey, listen, Ryan, I mean, before we let you go, do you have any advice for shooters who are just starting out?
Yeah, with shooters that are just starting out, I think one of the things is there's, when you look at coaching and things like that, or, someone who wants to get in the game, I think you get a multitude of people who are coaching and everything else. And, I would say, take in as much information that you can as far as shooting and coaching. Some of it you'll be able to use, and some of it, might not be the best information. But there's so much stuff that's out there as far as the mental aspect and the physical part of shooting and everything else. So definitely enthrall yourself with all the information that you can, because it can actually take years off of that time as far as getting to that competitive level and everything. So.
Well, Ryan, listen, I really appreciate you coming on the program tonight, sir. It's great talking to you, and hope we can do it again.
Absolutely, and thank you very much for your time.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for what you do, sir. We appreciate your sacrifice. Congratulations again on the gold medal, and again, hopefully we'll be able to talk soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.